Every house has one, and nearly every homeowner ignores it until it breaks. The standard outdoor faucet is an awkwardly protruding, often wobbly piece of brass stuck to the side of your home. To understand why it fails, we have to look at how it sits inside the wall. This diagram shows a cross-section of a typical home exterior. Notice the heat boundary. Inside, it's warm, but the pipe itself and the water sitting right behind the valve extends entirely outside into a cold zone. When winter temperatures drop below freezing, that exposed water reacts exactly as physics dictates. It turns to ice and expands. As it freezes, it exerts thousands of pounds of outward pressure against the brass walls. Eventually, the pressure exceeds the structural limit of the pipe and tears the metal apart. The real damage usually happens days later, when the ice thaws and high-pressure water floods straight into your walls. Our main defense against this involves frantic trips to the hardware store for those little foam domes, or crawling into the basement every November to manually shut off the supply line and drain the system. We build heavy, insulated walls to keep the weather out, yet we deliberately leave our plumbing exposed to the frost, relying on foam covers to protect a flawed mechanical design. Solving this requires going under the house, whether that's a crawl space or a basement, cutting away the unstable old copper line, and completely removing the outdated fixture from the wall. To connect the new system, plumbers and homeowners now rely on push-to-connect fittings. These lock onto a pipe instantly without the need for solder or chemical glue. This diagram shows exactly how a quick connect fitting works on the inside. When you push a copper or PEX pipe, which is a type of flexible plastic tubing, into the fitting, a ring of stainless steel teeth bites down to hold it securely in place. Simultaneously, a rubber O-ring compresses around the pipe, creating a watertight seal. This method removes the need to haul heavy crimping tools into a cramped crawl space, and it avoids the fire hazard of using a blowtorch to sweat copper pipes near wooden floor joists. Outside the house, the physical mount gets an upgrade too. Replacing rotten or thin siding with 3/4-inch treated plywood provides a rigid structural anchor, ensuring the new hardware won't wobble when you attach a heavy hose. Using rapid connection technology and structural reinforcement addresses the physical weaknesses often found in standard outdoor plumbing, resulting in a more stable and leak-resistant setup. With a solid base prepared, we can install the actual replacement, a house hydrant. Instead of a bulky metal spout sticking out of the siding, this sits entirely flush against the exterior wall. Here is the core engineering principle at play: decoupling. It separates the permanent wall port from the physical spigot. When you need water, push the independent spigot into the flush port and give it a twist. It locks in less than a second. The moment it locks, the water starts flowing. There is no external knob to crank and no secondary valve you have to open. Decoupling turns the traditional, static outdoor faucet into a modular tool. You control exactly when the exterior hardware exists on the side of your house and when it doesn't. And that mechanical control is exactly how you address the threat of freezing. When the temperatures drop, winterization is simple. You twist the spigot, pull it out, and take it inside with you. This cross-section shows the mechanical result. Because the internal valve is located deep inside the fixture, the water line stops entirely within the warm interior zone of the home. No hardware and no water extend into the cold exterior air. A protective flap snaps shut to cover the remaining port. Behind that flap, an integrated anti-siphon device ensures no contaminated water can ever be sucked backward from a garden hose into your home's clean supply. With no water held in the cold zone, the system is rated as frost-proof. It requires virtually zero maintenance, and without a physical handle on the outside, it is much more difficult for vandals to turn on your water. Designing a system where the faucet is entirely removable solves the thermal problem by taking the vulnerable components out of the winter weather altogether.